also, it was designed in a weekly basis or weekly format. That means every week the learner will get 3, 4, 5 modules. He will learn or she will learn. Using those modules, and at the end of the week, the learner will be assessed. Let's say again we will take the standard example that 4 credits. So if it ends, the 4 credits will normally take 12 weeks to 16 weeks. I will come back to that identifying course team again. So 12 weeks to 16 weeks. After the end, every week end, he will be assessed. The learner will be assessed either by the MCQ or small answer, short answers questions, long answer questions, fill in the blanks, whatever it is. And at the end of again, the learner will be assessed. So that might be online assessment or offline assessment based on the availability or based on the course structure. So to develop this content of 40 hours, single person's efforts are not sufficient. That's why you have to take a help of other buddy professors, buddy lecturers. That's why you have to identify your course team. You can collaborate with others and request them to develop the content and to deliver it. Because when we see later on, it is not only developing the content, that means not only giving the lecture in the form of video, audio, video format, but it also requires other material to be developed. So the second point and fourth point are connected, that is identify experts and instructors. So before the course, it has to be recorded, developed. So we require the instructors. While running the course also, we require the instructors to assess these learners. So once the content, the structure, the weekly structure, lesson map, everything is in place, then we start the video recording. We then find the video lecture, that means we can incorporate the PowerPoint slides, the graphic slides or animation. So we try to make the lecture as attractive as possible. And then the deliverables, we have to develop the deliverables. That means the 4 quadrants which we will be seeing just now, and uploading the content maybe on the Swayam or on other platform. Then running the course online, that means you are offering it. Right now the EMRC Pune has offered or is offering about 6 courses online. They all will be starting from 20th of July. Most of them, about out of the 6 courses, 4 courses are 4 credits and 2 courses are 3 credits. So that means offering the course means the running the course. Now here CEC or the EMRCs have approached or taken the 4 quadrant approach. There are these 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is the e-tutorial. Here some typo mistake is there. Quadrant 2 is Just a moment. Quadrant 1 is e-tutorial, quadrant 2 is e-content, quadrant 3 is discussion forum, and quadrant 4 is assessment. Now in quadrant 1, that is e-tutorial, we have audio video content, as I said. So it might be with animation, simulation, demonstration, or laboratory experiments. And it has to be supported by transcript. So what is a transcript? Transcript means the commentary, the narration, the voiceover, which is being spoken in the video lecture or video content. The quadrant 2 is e-content, so which is the extension of the earlier e-content. So it has got self-instructional material, e-books, case studies, web resources, research papers, or journals. So this means that the learner has to first get the information from the quadrant 1, from the audio video content. Then based on this content, he or she can take more knowledge based on or provided by the experts. This is in quadrant 2. After the quadrant 1 and 2, if the learner has some doubts, if the learner doesn't understand some of the concept, then the learner can raise it in the discussion forum. They can be clarified by the peers, that means the same learners who have understood the concept. They can try to clear the doubts, which will be again reviewed and corrected by the experts, the coordinators, or the instructors. So these doubts have to be cleared on a nearly real-time basis by the course coordinator or his team. So that's why course coordinator may not be 24 hours available. So the course coordinator has to have a team which can look into the discussion forum. Fourth quadrant is the assessment part, which I told you that the MCQs are there. So assessment is of two types, like in the formal teaching learning method, we have two types of assessment. One is internal assessment and other one is the external assessment or at the term end. So similarly here also we have internal assessment, which is the week end or every week end we take the assessment. So this can be treated as internal assessment. This is during the course, that means when it is offered. So at the week first, end of the week first, end of the week 2, end of the week 12, we will be getting 12 results for each of the assessment we have conducted. At the end of the course, that means at the end of the term, we conduct the online proctored examination. The SWAYAM is conducting online proctored examination. So since it is online right now, in today's scenario, we have to have only multiple choice questions. So this is kind of limitation to all of these platforms because they will be conducting the online examination. There are certain subjects which require practical examination also, which require the long answer questions, descriptive questions or descriptive answers are expected, wherein you cannot judge just by selecting multiple choice questions, one of the or many of the options. So the learner cannot be judged on based on MCQs. But right now this is the condition because we are establishing the way of assessment, how the learner will be assessed. Okay. Now what I will try to show you is the how we upload the courses or how the SWAYAM platform looks like. Okay. Now when you apply for the SWAYAM course, that you are interested in offering the course on SWAYAM platform, it is approved and you get or receive a course ID and password. So this is basically course ID and this is login ID and this is password. So let's say we will take the business ethics course, which is developed by Archana Westlekar. Okay, and this is the login ID and this is the password. Now again this has a limitation that we have to use the Google Chrome. First we have to clear the history. Okay, then we go to this SWAYAM portal. Most of you must be knowing the SWAYAM address, that is swayam.gov.in. Then you say here sign in. Before that, do is see these national coordinators. So AICTE, CEC, IGNOU, IMMB, so these are all 9 national coordinators. So we come under CEC, that means Consortium for Educational Communication. Now we have been given the task again, I will repeat that developing the undergraduate and postgraduate courses for non-technology and non-medical courses. Now here SWAYAM has given you 4-5 ways of logging. Now you are logging as a coordinator. Okay. Now if you see the login ID, it is the Gmail ID basically. So what we do is we using the Google. Now here we have to enter CEC 20-MG32. At swayam2.ac.in. Okay, so this is the email ID which they have provided. the Swayam board. You have to enter the password provided by them. So normally what we can do is you can just copy this and paste it here. So now because I am offering or I am logging from different place, so I will get a no, it is not getting me. Actually, I had registered my number also. You will have to be a little bit patient. See, now we have logged in as the course coordinator. Here you can see this. Okay. So you have your profile, courses, and instructor admin. See, this is different now. Now what you have to do is go to your course. See, now business ethics is there. So this is where you go. Okay. Now what we will do is you can I am now using the Firefox because I want to show you how it looks basically first. Now here you can search any of the course if you know. See, on the Swayam, this is called as the course card. Okay, so here you see the name of the course, the CC, that it means the course coordinator's name, the university which is offering, or the institute which is offering the course. That is Savitribai Phule Pune University, and the national coordinator, CEC. You see the learner sees, you means the learner sees 8 weeks, and starting on 20th of July 2020, we have also announced, the Swayam has also communicated us the examination date, and enrollment is 31st of August. So this is how it looks to the learner. See, so this is about the course. This is a video. This might be about 3 to 4 minutes video, which tells the learner what is the course about, why the learner should take this course. This is kind of advertisement of the course. And what you are offering in this course, what or how much knowledge you will gain, how much skills you will gain, or what skills you will gain after the completion of this course. So all these points will be covered in this introductory video. You also come to know how many learners. See, here also we have said learners enrolled. So 1149 learners have joined this course. So what you have to do, just press join, then you will be able to join this course. Here you see the course layout also. See, course is again weekly plan. So every week we have planned something, week 1 to week 8. Then books and references are given. Instructors biodata, just a brief biodata is given, and about the course certification. See, 30% of the weightage is given to the course assessment. That means this is during the course, and 70% to the end term proctored examination. Similar to our regular what we call is as the degree courses, we have annual assessment and end of the term assessment weightage. Here also we have 30% in course assessment and 70% end term proctored examination. Okay, so this is how the other will say see it. Okay, in this course, I will see this using Google. So I am using so now once I join, it is different. Okay, so this also you can try later on. Going or coming back to the development course. Okay. Now here you see all these course outlines. This is how actually the user, the learner will see. But since it is not right now started, the learner online, he is not seeing it. Can you see the note or notice the difference? Once 20th of July comes, the course week 1 will be opened here. See. This week 1 will be seen here. And all the modules which are being offered in week 1 will be seen here like this. Okay. Now how this works or how this is fed. So for that, you have to go to the course dashboard. Now since we have completed the uploading part, we are nearing 20th of July. We have almost completed all of the course uploading or content uploading. So you can see okay. So we will go to the course dashboard. So on the left hand side is the crux of the dashboard and how you upload the content. So there are basically 4. Here you see the course business ethics, and there are basically 4 tabs, as we can say that. So first is create, second is publish, third is manage, and settings. So in the settings, if you go, see that this is the course settings, forum settings, and registration settings. So I have just clicked forum. So you see here loading the, see now course NC, course title, admin email, which they have provided, credits 4. So this fee is automatically filled. See, this is 8 weeks which we have divided. Now course layout which we see or which we are seeing, see, is fed here. Books and references which we were seeing is fed here. Course certificate. So this information about the course and college course type, whether it is core or whether it is optional course, elective course, or not applicable. Course level, undergraduate level, school level, diploma level, or postgraduate, continuing education, or undergraduate oblique postgraduate, both. Many times what happens, like one of my course which I offered to students last semester, the course expert was Jayant Oak. That was finance for non-finance. So the content was such a beautiful content, and it was useful for postgraduate as well as undergraduate students. So you can have undergraduate, postgraduate. If it is a FDP course, nowadays, as you know, that it is not mandatory to go to certain place, attend the FDP course for some particular mandatory required days of 30 days, like that. So it is now offered, the FDP course, and that is valid for your assessment also, to getting the API points. So if you have developed the FDP, that is faculty development program, online, you can select this, and available instructors for admin. So this is for admin use actually. Okay, what I explained you, that we have to identify the instructor team. So this comes here. When the assessment comes, when the learner submits the assessment, let's say 5,000, right now only 1,000 learners are there, but when 5,000 learners are there, and let's say about 1,500 learners, because all of the 5,000 learners may not be interested in final certification. So they may not respond to the weekend VJs, weekend assessment. This is what world over the experience is. This is what the research says. Okay, that all of the people who have registered are necessarily not going to last up to the last week. There is a dropout, not major dropout basically. So to assess, let's say these 1,500 learners who have submitted the quiz, if it is MCQ, then it is okay. It will be assessed automatically by the computer itself. But if it is short term, long term, short answer questions, long answer questions, then you have to physically check the answers. To check 1,500 students' responses is a cumbersome job, time consuming job. You have to appoint 2 or 3 assistants called as teaching assistants. So they are the instructors. Okay. So you can say now, see, instructor name, instructors institute, instructors bio, then YouTube ID for the introductory video. So all these videos have to be uploaded on YouTube. We have somebody's voice has been switched on. Okay, so here we have this cpn.mooc created, and we have the channel, YouTube channel. See now here, sorry for keeping you waiting. Okay, January 2020 courses. Okay, so as I said that this has got introduction video. This has got introduction video. Then week 1 L1, W1 L1, W1 L2, W1 L3, W1 L4. So there are 4 lectures or 4 modules. And then W2 L1, W2 L2, L3, L4. So 4. In each only 2 lectures. So based on your content depends how many lectures or how many modules you are offering in a week. So this is what you have to copy this ID here. So if you see, this is not complete ID. So why it is not? Because if you see that V is equal to, so this is from use GQ up to N. So you have to count about 11 characters, copy that and paste it here. Okay, then course picture is there. You have the course picture. Right now it is not displayed here somewhere, or I think we have registered, so that's why it is not being seen. Okay, estimated workload, because CPCS require how much workload is estimated, so that is given here. And push to SWAYAM Central, yes. So after saving this, then in this create, you have the outline of the course. So you have to leave this page. I'm not saving it because it is offered now being live. So I'm not changing anything. I'm just showing you the way or the methodology. See here, unit 1, week 1. And unit 2, week 2. Unit week 3. and these are the modules which are offered. In each of these modules, see, you can add a lesson, assessment, programming assessment, or subjective assignment. If you add a lesson, see, here you have to give the name, the content unit, that means whether it is week 1, 2, or one of these weeks. Video ID again copying from the YouTube. Video subtitles, you have the subtitles, you can make it here. So there are 8 languages, as I told you that we are now given. So it is in development. It can be offered later on in these areas on the Swayam with the subtitles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So of course English is there. Apart from English, there are 8 languages, which Marathi is there, one of them. Question scoring. So if you have got the questions, then lesson body and save. Okay, so I'm not saving anything. I will just show you one of the field, like let's say first lecture. See, this is the YouTube ID. Then we have not selected any of this. Okay, now we go back again the outline. So how this is seen, you can see this. See how this will be offered. So this is now seen. So that's why it is now. Rest of the things are gray. This is bold. So meaning and nature of business ethics, private. So now it is privately operated because it is not public right now. See, this is the summary of the course. Summary of the module. This is the video which will be played, and these are all the 4 quadrants information. Here you can see the academic script, case studies, glossary of terminologies, objectives, summary, transcript, misconceptions, references, and learning, self-learning tutorial. And some small MCQ is also there. See, 5 questions are there. Each will get 1 point. So this is how we operate. If you want to offer it on the Coursera, Udemy, or edX, it is different. Their portal, their platform, their way of uploading will be different. But the time right now is not permitting. Very short time is there. So I have tried to explain you the way of offering the course, developing the course in 4 quadrants, what is being adopted by the Swayam. Now the majority or the crux is how to develop the content, how to make it effective, how to make it attractive, how to make it interesting, so that the student will see it from the first frame to the last frame. That means from the beginning to the end. So by using some animations, by using graphics, you can make it, or by using simulations, you can make it interesting. So to explain that, I request Mr. Vinod Kargi to explain you about the use of graphics. And before that, before closing, I announce that whatever doubts you have got, you can keep it posted on the chat, in the chat box. We will later on come back, because as I was telling them, your organizers, that this is a very short time to explain you, and in that short time it may not be able to or possible to handle the queries also. So we have kept the question answer session separately between 1 to 2 p.m. today itself. So you can ask your questions, ask your doubts, keep them posted in the chat box. We can have live also later on if the time permits. Okay. So all the best to you. I now request the organizers to switch over to Vinod Kargi.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, sir, please start your video.
Yeah, I have started. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
It is started now. You can start speaking, Mr.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible. You can start now.
Okay. So I'm Vinod Kargi from EMRC Pune. Good morning to all, and thanks to the organizers who have given us opportunity to say something about this course. We are dealing with this kind of programs for last so many years. But nowadays, due to different reasons, this is taking place on priority basis. So, is everybody able to listen my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today we are going to see, while creating any kind of course for online video, mainly for creating video, we need many components to include, and in which we have titles, charts, animations, these kind of things, and how to go about that. I think everybody is clear about it. Now I will share my screen to explain few points about what we are going to do in this session. Basically, now from teaching method, we are shifting to technologically oriented online teaching method, which is due to the revolution of technology. Now, earlier we knew that a Vidyarthi has to go to Guru and learn. And now, in this era of MOOCs and online e-content, the teacher is going to fingertips of the Shishya wherever he is ready to learn. And for that, we need all these things. There are two parts. One is creating own video, recording it, completing it, then uploading. And then second is managing learning management system. Plus, sometimes like this, now we are talking live lecture. In that way, where you are sharing your PPT, PDF, or other content, these two methods are available right now. See, for due to this technological revolution and digital era, we can record video with a normal mobile camera or any digital camera, which earlier which was not possible due to very high-end digital equipment which was very costly. But now you can record videos for your own lectures with your mobile or a digital camera. Then we have platforms like YouTube where you can start your own channel, your own videos. And the medium want, you can upload it to any platform, like now we are talking about Swayam, edX, or any other, wherever you are having access. Now in conventional teaching, the limitation was geographical limit in one single classroom. Now whatever students are present, you are teaching them. When in online teaching, there is no geographical limit. Any number of students can join your course, they can watch you. Maybe you are not able to watch them, who are the students, and you don't know about their ability. So you have to teach in a general way that it should be understood by all of them, from a student to a very scholarly student. Then in conventional teaching, there are flexible evaluation methods, whereas online teaching evaluation method is limited to objective type or MCQ. And here you are having help of peer-to-peer evaluation done by the students itself and your teaching assistants. Now, while using video as a primary medium for teaching, you have to understand the strong points of the video and as well as weakness. Now, when you are teaching in the classroom, you have a lot of time within that 50 minutes or 1 hour, whatever time you are taking. Maybe you are cracking some jokes, some student is asking some question suddenly, somebody is coming, entering late, and then there are all these time lapse things going on. Whereas in video lecture, there is no such kind of thing. Nobody is asking you anything. Nobody is looking at you except the camera. And then sometimes a lecturer is confused whether he is talking to students or what he has to do because he is not looking into the camera. For again designing the course, you are the architect of this course, the teacher, the professor. He has to design that he is teaching this particular course or module or the part of the course. He has to divide it within a particular content, that this much content I want to teach the learner. In that I have to divide it and I have to support it with required visuals, charts, equations, whatever is the necessity. So here the role of the teacher starts, that how you want to offer this course and how you would like to design it. And the people like us making graphics or editing the videos will help you to gain it fast. If you are doing it yourself, everything, it will take a lot of time. But if you are having help of all these people, professionals, you can do it fast. Now, why you want to use graphics? That is again, without graphics or charts, you can do the lecture. You are explaining it orally and still it is going to the learner. But when you use visual medium, charts, tables, graphs, or text points, the highlights help the student to understand the content. Just by explaining orally, it is difficult. But whereas when you are using this kind of visuals, student is getting it easy to understand the topic or content you are telling them. You can use animations also. Like this is a simple animation for physics lecture. This kind of simple animations you can use Now here, the role of the teachers, you are not supposed to create graphics, animations yourself. You have people available to do that for you. But you should be aware that what kind of techniques are available, how simply you can insert them into your program and how useful it will be for your course. So if you have some idea what is available, what kind of animations or designs can be done, you will be more comfortable to suggest that. And even while designing your lecture, your language should be more visual oriented to make students visualize the thing in his own way so that it is easy for understanding the topic. Now here again, when you are designing a course, if you have a team of suppose 3 to 4 people, then you have to be very careful because everything should be uniform while you are creating. Like you are creating a doc file, it should be of the same size, like A4. If you are using a font, it should be of uniform size for everybody. Somebody is creating an 18-point size, somebody creating 10-point size, may not have correct idea of the content volume. So you have to be very careful while using these things. Hello, everybody is getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Because here sometimes I'm viewing a message that your internet is not stable. Then there are various formats for video. These are basic for you just to know that what, because we are in video, we have idea about all the formats. But as a teacher, you may not have correct idea of what is exactly the formats of video. Now, due to mobile phones, most of you have idea regarding the formats of the video. Most of the mobile phones are equipped with HD video. Now, SD is gone era. Only highly professional SD cameras are still being used because they are good enough. But otherwise, on gadgets like digital camera and mobiles, you will get at least HD. Then some cameras have full HD. Some mobiles are having full HD camera setup, which is good enough for you. And the further upcoming formats are 4K, which you may be watching on televisions of high-end televisions. 8K is yet to come to India. Up to 4K we can view. For creation, HD or full HD is the current standard which is going in India right now. So for you, using a full HD video is good enough. Beyond that, you need not think right now. Then when you are doing anything, it may be a photograph, a visual, your own video, you have to remember the basic composition rule of thirds it is called. Whatever screen or the background you are using, if you divide it into 3 sections, vertically and horizontally, these 4 points which are formed are known as focal points. So whatever you put here at this point is viewed first. The viewer is bound to watch these points initially. Whenever you see the visual, I will show you. So whatever visuals, good visuals you think, these are very good visuals, you will notice that they are placed at the 1/3 of the space and not at the center. Exactly center is normally avoided in good layouts, in good photographs, in good designs. So you have to be careful while designing your own visuals or your own framing of video. Then you have to have some idea regarding color theory because you will be using all these things in your video part. So there are many, when we are using a color, they are different. One is pigment color, which is used on paper. Printing color, which is again used on paper. Light color, which we can see through the spectrum, sunlight, natural light. And video or electronic color, where it is RGB. So except this pigment colors, the light color and video color, they are emitted from the screen. So you need some light, otherwise you will feel very dull, or the contrast is too much if you watch it in the full dark. I'll show you that also. This pigment color theory is known as subtractive, whereas printing color theory is also subtractive kind of thing. When mixing of all these colors will lead to black, whereas in light color, mixing of all these colors leads to white. In video also, it is same. RGB colors will lead to white. Mixing of these colors in a particular percentage will lead to white. So, see, if you are watching something in dark, it will be not very comfortable to your eyes. Then there are some color symbolisms involved. Every color has some symbolism, depends on our culture. In our culture, white is for purity. Then this Bhagwa or orange color is for Tyag. These kind of symbolisms are registered in our mind since our childhood. So while using colors, we have to be very careful what type of color scheme we are using for what subject. Red is normally saffron, white, green. Green is normally for prosperity. That's why it is used in our national flag. Now coming to fonts, titling and graphics. This is our main topic right now. Use simple fonts as far as possible because we are trying to show something in a video where it will be over within few seconds. It will not remain there for a long time like a print media where if it is printed, one can watch it for any number of hours or minutes. Whereas in video time, if you are thinking only of video, the title will appear and then disappear, or the next title or next visual will appear. So within that time, it should be read by the learner. For that, the font should be simple, understandable, language should be simple, and size and the layout should be very easy to understand by the learner. So there are many kind of titles or softwares also available. You can do it in, which is good enough. The presentation now you are watching is done in PPT only. While using colors also, you have to be very careful. I am using minimum colors so that the learner is able to understand whatever the people who are watching right now. They are not confused much. They should be able to understand the content of this. Now in video, a normal standard for using titles or graphics, if you are using only text, you should be able to use only 8 to 10 lines per frame. Otherwise, it is not much readable and people may not remember it after a long time. But sometimes the content is too much complicated or the sentence you can't cut abruptly. There you can use up to 15 lines when you are doing it in full HD. But again, you have to be very careful that it should go to the learner, whatever content you are displaying. So the timing you have to watch that if he is able to read it. In online, there is one more facility available right now, not like television, that a person can pause it and then read it completely. But we should not assume that he is going to do all this. We should assume that it should be read within the timing we have put it on the video screen. Then support the main content with titles, graphs. Suppose we are showing some sentence, 1/3 of rural households are agricultural labor households who survive on wage employment. If I show this sentence simply, the volume of what exactly is going on is not registered immediately. But when I show the visual or pie chart, as you can see it here, it is immediately registered. What is the volume in regard to the complete percentage? So the person is able to understand it very easily. Or if you show some kind of this kind of components of labor, individuals, applicant and labor force. Instead of showing it plain, you can make it in a pyramidal structure and label it. Try to minimize the text part using supporting image or graphs because the visual should speak itself. If you are putting too much of text with visual or graph, it will be confusing. So you have to be very precise that what you want, and you have to explain it to the professional who is working for you. He may be graphic artist, or you yourself may design few graphics. Those who are interested in doing this, they can always do that because some people have their own way of doing some charts or preparing some graphs. They can do it for themselves. It can be inserted. Not necessary that you should get professional always, because everywhere payment is the issue for this kind of assignments you are giving them. So depending on your budget, you can decide, or you can ask your students also to create this kind of things. Those who are good in this, they can help for creating these graphics, titles, all these things. See again here, I'm using a pie chart with 3D effect, which is available in PPT, simple software, where you have to just give the values and it will appear here. But while doing this, you have to be very careful using a contrast, good contrast in background and foreground for content. Otherwise, the content will vanish in the background and visibility is not very good while watching on screen. Then for titling, it may take few lines of text to explain something which may be explained with one picture or graph. Like there has to be a lot of respect between colleagues and between seniors. So here, saying this sentence, putting this sentence in text is one thing. And when I put some visual with that, you'll immediately understand what I want to say. So your point is elaborated immediately with one single visual, I am telling. Otherwise, everybody will visualize in a different way. Here, when I am giving this example of chessboard, where each and every, this right from soldier to king has their own roles and they cannot interfere with each other. Like we should have it in our environment like office or college or wherever we are working in our institutions. Now there are variety of type of animations available, right from simple animation PPT to very complicated 3D animations or to integrated simulative animations. Like if you click there, if you put some values, the animation will change, which is again interactive kind of thing. Then some animations you can create within PPT. Some animations you need softwares like Flash or Blender or 3D Max or Maya. Whatever the complication you require, accordingly you can plan the animation and use it for your content. The main thing is you have to design the content for your own lecture because you know the subject, you are the teacher. And we people are just to assist you, help you to make it your own way. We are not going to teach your subject. We are just helping you to make it more easy for the learner to understand what you are trying to teach. So, you know the crux of all this. Only thing is, now you are changing the media from live lecture in the classroom to video. There you have to again remember that time, because in classroom you are having 1 hour. If you teach it in video for 1 hour, it will be too much. The content is concentrated on video content. So you have to remember that. And if you think that 12 minutes are good enough, you can design a 12-minute lecture because that is good enough when you are putting your content. If you think for this topic, I need at least 20 minutes, you can do that. You can rehearse it earlier and then make it final. Your presentation and other things are secondary when you are putting the content. That is very important. Otherwise, only film heroes will be able to do this kind of presentations. But we are doing this as a teacher, so we should be able to do that deliver it to the proper audience.
देख ना उद्या उद्या दिलंच नाही चालतं ती मलाच त्यांना द्यायला बरं असं
I am sharing this PPT with you through email. I'll send it to Manisha madam and she can share all with all of you. And for your any queries or when you are now, Mr. Thakar was showing you the upload part and other things. Sometimes the font is not supported on all platforms. So there you need to create some kind of PDF and then cut it, crop it and upload it as a text part. So these small technical things or tricks you have to learn while doing this course and you will go through that once you start that. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any small queries I can answer within 5 minutes. And later on, I will answer the detailed queries when you will be chatting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Today afternoon only we are going to have question and answer session.
Okay.
For last 5 minutes, I am switching the screen. Wait for a while.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Sir, may I ask one question to you?
Yeah, please.
Sir, I just wanted to know, like you told that with the help of like through PPT, we can give some animation into them. So
Yeah.
is there any kind of other software that we can learn by ourselves? Because, if we want to go for 3D Max and Maya, so we have to get a training for that. So is there any other way so that we can make our PPT more interactive and more learning? Like apart from that, only the PPT animation, any other software that we can also learn by ourselves?
Yeah, there are a few small softwares available online which are normally free.
Okay.
Costing very
Can
low.
you just give the names?
Yeah, I will share all the names in email and
Okay.
you can share it with others. And
Oh,
there are tutorials available for that.
okay. So that we can learn by themselves.
Yeah, but slightly they are complicated if you are using a 3D animation. But
Okay.
otherwise, this PPT is most easy because you are normally using them. You can make interactive presentations in PPT also. Flash is comparatively easier than 3D softwares where it is again, tutorials are available. I'll share all the names of the softwares and
Okay.
this particular PPT so that you can start using them.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all for giving me opportunity and hope this is useful for all of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I thank both the speakers, Mr. Dhakar sir and Kalagi sir, for sparing their valuable time and guiding our faculty friends. Thank you very much, sir. There is kind request to the participant to post their queries on WhatsApp group also, or chatbot of a Zoom is still open for next 15 minutes. You can post your queries. All the queries will be sent to the speakers, and in the afternoon session, both of the speakers will be available for us to answer our queries. Please. Thank you, sir. We will be joining again in the afternoon session at 1 o'clock sharp. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Hi.
madam. Thank you.
I declare this session is over. Meeting again at 1 o'clock. Thank you.